today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nully, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Bullying Prevention Month. Now, bullying is when one person picks on another. And, now, bullying used to be just confrontational. But when social media started hitting the scene, that's when it got worse. And then that's when cyberbullying started. And the only bad thing about cyberbullying, as opposed to confrontational bullying, is that with cyberbullying, somebody can just go on and bully someone and remain anonymous. But let's face it, there are some people that go on social media and bully folks, and they make themselves very known. And do not care. I'm just going to go and say this. Bullying is wrong. It's very wrong. And it's very cowardly. Whether it's confrontational or whether you want to take the even more cowardly approach and be anonymous, it's wrong. I was watching the news last week, and I learned of an 11-year-old girl from Elysian Fields, Texas, had gotten bullied so much to the point where she took her own life. And that angers me. That really makes me mad, because it really makes me mad, because it was almost like it was almost like she wanted so badly to fess up to it, but she didn't think anyone would listen to her. And teachers need to start this. It's about high time that teachers need to stop putting down all these folks who are on the receiving end of being bullied. I mean, all you teachers that do that, you say stuff like they need to grow a spine, or this is just hearsay. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Very ashamed of yourselves. And then it seems like all these folks that are, that are part of all the school boards throughout the country, they're not doing anything. They're not doing, and if they are, they're not doing enough. And parents, when a child is you need to really start paying very close attention to your kids, because if a child is acting some way differently than the way that they act, it could be that they're bullying. And if they tell you that there is nothing wrong, there really is. And the only reason that I feel very strongly about this is because I was bullied. I was bullied all the way from second grade through the first college I attended. And there were times, and I'll just go ahead and say it. There were times where I wanted to end my own life. But then I started hearing stories about other children my age or younger, that have been bullied, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to do this. Instead, I'm going to fight for them. And that's even my aim today. And this is a bullying prevention comic hero tee. And inside the speech bubble, it has a thumbs down. And inside the thumbs down, it has the words "boo to bullying." And then I have the ribbon. And I just want all students to know, all young people to know, young people, and not just young people, but adults too, because bullying just doesn't take place in schools. It also takes place like in different occupations. I have I've heard stuff about bosses bullying their employees. I mean, which honestly I think that's wrong too. But I just want y'all to know that you're not alone. And the fact that you're still here, the fact that you're still here, that you're still that you're having to put up with it, you're surviving, and you should continue to do so. Because bullying is, you really can't help but feel bad for people who bully. I mean, you just can't help it, and one day you won't be bullied anymore. All right, it's time to give away your free t-shirt. All right, on last week's episode, I asked which actor played the role of Odin in the Thor movies. Now, I gave a hint on social media. I said that he's also played in movies like The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Meet Joe Black. Well, the correct answer is Sir Anthony Hopkins. And 20 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Scotty LeCompte from Houghton, Louisiana. So congratulations, Scotty. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Black Panther question. Black Panther made his debut in Fantastic Four number 52. What year did this issue come out? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode. Alright, now Carlos Chico Morgan from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features a presence and a fighter from a dead planet. Represent DC, we have the Presence. And represent Bird Studios, we have Broly. These two are gonna duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Presence versus Broly. The Presence possesses omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, and immortality. Broly possesses adaptation, agility, berserker strength, blast power, energy absorption, energy manipulation, energy shield, energy enhanced strike, flight, force field, healing, invulnerability, light projection, longevity, radar sense, shapeshifting, size manipulation, stamina, super speed, super strength, unarmed combat skills, and wind burst. Who will win? Broly thinks he has this fight even before it started. He says, "I'm going to send you back to the VFW where you belong." Little does he know, he's VFW. Very far wrong. Broly uses unarmed combat against the Presence. This proves to be unsuccessful because the latter blocks every punch and kick that the former attempts to land at such incredible speed. Broly instantly becomes frustrated and uses almost every armed and unarmed attack. When the smoke clears, the Presence is left without much of a scratch. In a last-ditch effort, Broly increases his size and attempts to squash the Presence like a bug. The Presence waves his hand and Broly suddenly reverts to his regular form and without powers. Broly then runs at the Presence and is met with a vicious heart punch. The Presence wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and I'll have another fight for next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, right, there are 4 things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking. And the first one is the news that I just found out a few days ago of Zoe Kravitz being casted as Catwoman in the upcoming Matt Reeves directed The Batman movie. Now, of course, Zoe Kravitz is the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. And she comes from a great pedigree of actors and actresses. Of course, her mother, Lisa Bonet, was on the cast of The Cosby Show and A Different World. And then also her grandmother, Roxy Roker, was on the cast of The Jeffersons. And let me tell you, she's a great actor in her own right as well. I mean, she's been in movies like Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, Insurgent, Divergent, Big Little Lies, and also she's been in some superhero movies. She was in X-Men First Class, and she played the voice of Spider-Gwen in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I can really see her playing Catwoman. I think she's going to deliver it. Now, let's be clear. She's not going to be as good as Michelle Pfeiffer was in Batman Returns. I mean, make no mistake about it. But I think that she is going to be great. She's going to be great in her own right, and I can't wait till that movie comes out and see how she does. All right, now speaking of the Batman, it's been rumored that Rihanna is going to be casted as Poison Ivy. Well, I don't know, because I've only seen Rihanna, acting. Look, she's a great singer, but as far as acting, she's not really really good at that as she is singing. Her singing career is, I mean, her being a recording artist is, I mean, she's just been unbelievable since day one. But as far as acting goes, well, not so much. Now, do I think that she'd be perfect for it? Yes, but we all like boo-hooed and said words that you can't say on TV and broke stuff when we found out that Heath Ledger was casted for the role of the Joker in The Dark Knight. And who knows? She may just blow us away. I mean, you just never know. I mean, we have tendencies, and I'm kind of getting off subject here. We do have tendencies in life of, just writing people off as opposed to giving them chances. And I think we need to give Rihanna a chance. I mean, who knows? She might just blow us away. All right, now the third thing is some more news on the upcoming crossover event with all the DC shows on the CW called Crisis on Infinite Earths. We found out there are other universes that are going to take place in them, and the Titans universe is going to be part of it, and also the Tim Burton Batman universe is going to be part of it. Wow! Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, this happens, and it just makes me look even more forward to seeing this event. And the season premiere of The Flash just came on last week, and The Flash learned that from one of the monitors that the only way that the world would be saved is if he dies. That pretty much happened in the Crisis of Infinite Earths comics that ran from 85 through 86, and I hate to say it, but more than likely the Flash will die. I mean, if you're like me, and you love the job that Grant Gustin has done on the Flash TV series the past, since 2014, you really don't want this to happen. But if it happened in the comics, the chances are it may happen on the small screen. I mean, we just don't know. Yeah. And speaking of the small screen DC universe, or the Arrowverse, or as it's also called, Wayne Brady is going to play the role of a World War II super soldier by the name of Tyson Gravedigger Sykes on an episode of Black Lightning. Now, Wayne Brady isn't just of course, we all know him as a comedian, a talk show host, and currently a game show host. He hosts Let's Make a Deal. But he's also a great actor. He's appeared on several episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful. And I'm not really a soaps guy, but from some clips that I've seen of him acting, he's pretty daggum good. But I don't know how he would fare with playing a comic book character or a military character. But I guess this season on Black Lightning, we're gonna find out, and I hope he delivers. No, oh, by the way, before I end this segment, I need to let y'all know who Tyson Gravedigger Sykes is in the comics. Now, he's kind of he's pretty much DC's answer to Captain America. He was given now while he was overseas in the fictitious Eastern European country of oh dang, I forgot what the name of that country is. It's Markovia. That's it. While he was stationed in the military in that country. I can't believe it just escaped. Markovia. I'm sorry, folks. While he was stationed in Markovia, he became the recipient of some kind of experiment that gave him that gave him these unbelievable powers. But instead of going back to the U.S., he remained in Markovia. And I think the way, from what I've read about it, he's actually going to arrive in the States, and he's more likely probably going to take on Black Lightning. And can't wait to see it. That's all I have to say. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is the Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Batman the Outsiders number 6. Catwoman number 16. Detective Comics number 1013. The Flash number 80. Justice League Odyssey number 14. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 11. Powers of X number 6. Supergirl number 35. Superman number 16. Wonder Twins number 8. And finally, Wonder Woman number 80. Alright, that's 12, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,651. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tea for next week's episode. Black Panther made his debut in Fantastic Four number 52. What year did that issue come out? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Scotty LeCompte from Houghton, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. And now his name is going to be on the birthday list at the end of next week's episode. But I just want to pause and wish my cousin, one of the biggest supporters of the show ever, D'Angelo Ballou, a very happy birthday. He's really stuck his neck out for me in terms of the show. I mean, he's got all these requests that he's gotten have either been from him or from other folks in Northeast Ohio, and you know, love you, man. Thank you so much. And as I said at the end of last week's episode, I'm going to be a guest and vendor at Geeks Along the River in the River Market in downtown Monroe on October 26th, which is a week and a half from now. So if y'all not doing anything, come on out and don't just support me, but also support all the other guest and vendors that are going to be there. Geeks Along the River first started in 2016, and this is the 4th annual one, and it's gotten bigger and better since then. And come on out and be part of probably one of the best cons in North Louisiana. And I want to go ahead and say this to all, especially to all the young people that are watching. Just hang in there. And if you and then also, if you don't think that just because no one's going to believe you, that's a reason to not say anything or to end your life. Ending your life isn't. You may think that it's the right way, but it really isn't. And then if you tell your parents that you're being bullied, because first off, your parents know you just as well as you do, and if they see that there's something wrong, and they come in and they try to stage an intervention with you, please let them know what's wrong. Because one thing about it, when I get married and I have kids, and if my child is being bullied, I'm going to do something about it. And there just isn't enough being done with bullying. It's gotten progressively worse, especially with social media being around for a little more than a decade. Well, really being around for about 15 years. And I would love to see bullying be a crime. We're seeing way too many children take their own lives because the bullying won't stop. We're seeing, and then on top of that, all these folks that work for these school boards, all these teachers that are saying, telling students that they just need to grow spines or it's just hearsay. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Our future is we're losing children every day because they're being bullied and they feel like there's no end in sight. They feel that the only end in sight is taking their own lives, and taking their own lives isn't the answer. We need to embrace our children. We need to reach out to our children. We need to let them know that everything is going to be okay. We don't really do that a lot with our children. I would love to see us do more, because we know better. Because we do better if we know better. All right, I'm Victor Dudley of the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 281. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and stop bullying.